Alright, well here's part 2 of this 2-part little video where I'm kind of introducing my lawn. If you haven't watched the first video, make sure you go back and check that out. But this is kind of what I'm planning on doing in the next couple of weeks as everything starts to thaw and we're ready to get going. So one of the first things I will be doing is on my lawn I'll be taking a rake and going through and just trying to lift any matted grass that might be matted from all the snow that we just had. I wanted to try and lift that up, maybe get any dead grass or thatch that's kind of in the lawn, get that out just so I can get some airflow going on the lawn. And so I'll show that in the next couple of weeks, possibly even this next week when I do it. And then I'll probably be getting my lawnmower ready, kind of give it a nice tune-up to get that ready for this season. I guess one of the first things before I flip the camera over is that I am planning on doing a reseeding. Since I didn't get to do that this past fall, I ended up running out of time. I was a little bit we were getting a little low on finances to go towards home and lawn stuff, and so it's just kind of one of the things that it wasn't first priority at the end of the season, and it was already doing pretty well, so I didn't get to do the aerating and overseeding, but I do plan on doing that this spring. But one of the issues that happens is also usually in the spring you want to lay down a pre-emergent herbicide. So that's kind of like a barrier that you would put down, whether it be through like a liquid chemical or as a granule, which are kind of the little pellets that you would put on. And what that does is it creates a barrier on top of the soil to prevent any weeds such as crabgrass, some other things from coming up. And so, but since I am looking to overseed this spring, I don't want to use just any pre-emergence. So from my research, what I'm looking at, I am planning on using a product called Tenacity. And so with Tenacity, it is actually both a pre and a post emergent. So pre means before the weeds come up, post meaning after the weeds have germinated. It will help kill off anything that's come up or any pesky weeds. So I am planning on using that. The benefit of using Tenacity is that you are able to use it when you've overseeded. So and then I think the only thing too is that I will have to use it again. I think you want to put kind of reapply it after, I believe, 3 or 4 weeks. But once I get that product and get the opportunity to read the label a little bit more, we'll talk about that in a future video. One of the first things I'll probably end up doing, like I said, is to go through and mow a little bit. There's my middle son, Oliver, joining us. So I'm gonna rake up a lot of this matted stuff. So here's an example of the reason why I'd want to rake that is just so let some airflow go through. Also, I don't want that area to die from being so matted, so we'll open up, allow some air to flow through that. Also, I'm probably going to take my leaf blower and kind of blow out the edges along the streets, just to remove any extra debris and sand and whatever else that might be there. One of the other things that you might notice is that from when they came and retilled the lawn, they weren't able to touch any of this. So I do plan on just going through and leveling off some spots where there's like divots in the yard. We'll go over here to the main part of the yard. I do plan on updating the mailbox post this year, and so that's kind of why the rocks have been shoveled out. But here's another spot over here. In the last video, this area here sits higher where the sprinkler head is than the rest of the lawn. So what happens, I'll run my mower over it and it scalps it a little bit. So I'm taking a shovel, bringing that down, so that way it's level. There's my oldest son, Xander. So for the most part up here, I'll be just kind of leveling off some spots. Here's kind of like a high area right here, and it kind of dips down in this area. And over here, there's lots of different. The grading over here is a little wacky as well. So just kind of fill in some areas, especially as we get closer to the flower bed here. It dips a lot. There's kind of a bunch of open spaces, so just kind of clean all this up as well. Get some fresh mulch in this bed here. And all right, let me show you the back. All right, so for the most part, this area is doing pretty good. There were some divots just from running the mower over in this area that occurred from just my mower being too heavy when things are still a little bit wet. So we'll kind of fix up some area, add some extra seed down here. So actually, towards the end of the season, we found out that there was some issues with the grading and the drainage easement back here. So the excavators or excavation company had to come in and actually redo all this. So it just kind of cut into, luckily for me, it only cut into this corner area of the back lawn. So we'll end up adding a little seed. Probably need to add some extra topsoil to this area, just kind of touch it up. Probably remove this plastic that's in there this year, and just make this look a little nicer. But cool. Now this is kind of over close by the house. Kind of same thing on these edges. We'll fix some of the grading issues here. Also back here in this corner, there's a low spot. So what happens, a lot of there's water that will puddle up in this area. So when I go to mow, it's really soft. So I'm going to try and fix the grading so it just has a better grade heading back this way. And there's also, since this is the like towards the north side of the house, gets the least amount of sun, and so there is a little bit of moss kind of growing. I don't know if you can see any of that. So trying to fix this area up. Here's a sprinkler head that got busted when they brought back the Bobcat to re-till up everything. They came back to fix it and said that it was fixed, but it still just keeps leaking a bunch of water out of it. And obviously there's no grass that's growing over there. Cool. I'll show you back here on the side. All right, so over here in this area, this is on the south side of the house where we have the retaining wall. The grading here is a little messed up, so it comes up and then it drops into the retaining wall here. two oldest boys coming down. So I want to fix, probably just kind of redo all this so there's a better grade starting at the retaining wall and to go down. So I'll just end up skimming the top layer of the grass. And other than that, we'll fill in some areas. It's a little low spot here. Same thing, a couple of low spots here, over here in this corner as well. And then as we go back here in this area, so actually our property ends where the drain is, pretty much right there where that post is. And so all this back here so far is, this will eventually be, eventually they're going to extend for the next phase. I believe it's phase 5 in this development. They're going to bring, there's a road back here. It's going to come up around this retention pond here, kind of come around, and then it'll come back. So there'll eventually be houses that will be behind us, but in the meantime, I'm told that it's probably going to be a couple years before they get the road, everything run for street lights and gas lines and all that. So it'll be a couple years before that happens. So one of the things I want to do over here is just kind of clean it up a little bit. When they did the grading, the guys who did our lawn, the second time they left a bunch of dirt right here, because it was the second time they didn't come and retill all this up, so they just left a pile of dirt here. So I kind of tried to spread it as much as possible, but what happens is from here it drains and comes down, and a lot of the water sits right here. So I ended up kind of doing this makeshift little drain to try and get it to flow back off of the property. So my plan is to fill in this makeshift drain. I'll probably flatten this out and just kind of fix the grading. Another thing I'm kind of wondering or thinking about is back here, since it might be a couple more years before they end up developing this part, is possibly utilizing this area. So kind of with this part of the lawn, just thinking that, we could, at least for a couple years, extend our property, make this look nice, use it for a fire pit or whatever that might be, or just have a larger area to throw a ball around. Or so with that, I did put some seed previously, but it wasn't the main priority this last year, so it kind of got overgrown with a bunch of weeds. I might try and see if I can tackle that this year, but let me know what you think. If you'd like to see me try and revitalize this back area, this might be a good example of what to do in your own lawn if you're having issues. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's pretty rough down there. So sorry, my hand's a little shaky right now, but it's chilly tonight. So it's also very muddy. This is just straight clay soil, no topsoil on it. So if you have clay soil, this could be a good example of what to do in your own lawn, or we'll can kind of experiment together. So let me know what you think, whether you think that'd be good for me to maybe try and see if I can get if I got extra product that I could lay down to put it down there. So all right, awesome. Well, thanks so much for watching this part 2. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also make sure that you hit that bell, so that way you get notifications on when I post the next video. We're about ready to go inside and watch a movie together as a family. That's kind of our Friday night tradition as a family. So so with that, I hope that you're as excited to get in the lawn as I am, and start to see the the fruits of your labor, so to speak. So, all right. Hope you have a great evening or day.
Hello.
Here's Xander.
Have a good night.
All right. Well, take care, and I'll see. Here's Ollie.
Hello.
Here's Ollie.
Oh, and
There's
don't
Xander.
forget to subscribe and I hope you like this video and put a
thumbs up.
And put a thumbs up. And don't forget to press the bell for any notifications.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.